Okay, today we're going to cover the rest of the muscles that you need to know for your practical. Of course, that's not all the muscles that you have in your body. You have lots more. So we've covered all those top regions. I will say on this little next practice, we did not have some of those chest muscles, so those will be on the little practice sheet in the next quiz. So do study those as well. As you do the practice, you'll see that I've added some of those in. So basically we're going to start with the legs and work our way, actually the hip area, and work our way down. We're going to do the anterior view first, and then we'll turn around and do the posterior view. So if you want to pause this video and get the rest of this, if you didn't get it last time, you can do that, or it is also on the PowerPoint that's uploaded. So we're going to start right up here with in your hip area. So we're going to talk about this, what looks like a tiny muscle, the iliopsis, that's right here. It's actually not a tiny muscle. On the next slide I'll show you. It actually connects way up here, and it's going to connect to your vertebra, and it's going to help you move your hip, and it's going to help you rotate your hips. So I'm going to show you how that's connected. And then right here along your side here, as some people call your saddlebags, you've got your tensor fasciae latae. So those are the two that we're going to look at first. So you've got one that looks like it's tiny that's tucked in there. And so we're going to look at that one. So here's what it really is. It's connecting to your lumbar vertebra there, so you can see it there, and then it wraps around your ball and socket, and we do see it attached to that iliac crest. It's actually two muscles in there that have two separate names, but together they are called the iliopsis, so that's what we're going to learn it as. So that's what it looks like. It's really a large muscle, but in the model, if we were looking at the actual model, it looks tiny. It's this number 68 here. So it does attach way up in there. And so on the model, it's very misleading, but that's what it would be on the model. And of course, you're looking at a blown up view of the model there, the iliopsis. I know it sounds like it might be some sort of dinosaur, but it is one of your muscles. And so here is our tensor fasciae latae, and so it is going to also help you works with the gluteus muscles, and it helps you abduct and rotate along your femur areas, so you can think about doing jumping jacks and etc. there. So that's, as some students go, where your saddlebag would be. If you drink lots of lattes, you might end up with a lot of fat in that area instead of muscle there, and you might have to do some leg adductions there to help strengthen that muscle. So tensor fasciae latae. So they do have an AE on the ending of it. Again, that's that Latin there, so we're going to spell it with the AE because that's the way it was on our things to study, so I added those E's in there. Alrighty. Abduction. You got a lot of the abductor, adduction muscles there. Alright, so we're going to deal with, well, let's do this rivet one. Look in here. So you have one that's connecting at the top of that iliac crest and going all the way down to where your knee is. So it looks like, to me, it looks like a rivet. And so that is the sartorius muscle. Okay, this is sartorius muscle there, and it helps you move your hip and your knee joint. And you can see why it's connected to your hip all the way down to your knee. Again, all these muscles, you got muscles group working together, helping you flex, helping you extend, helping you adduct and abduct. So you've got some working with each other and against each other. So that one is that ribbon looking one, sartorius. And now we're going to talk about your quads. Well, quad means you have 4 muscles, so you're seeing 3 of them right here. So you see this yellow one and this little bit redder one here, kind of, I don't know, an orangey red color there, and then this blue one there. So we're going to start with the one that's dead above your kneecap, that's straight, going straight across, straight up and down. And up and down, again, the word for straight up and down is rectus. Do you remember that? Rectus, your rectus abdominis. This is a rectus muscle, and it goes along your femur. So this is the rectus femoris. Rectus femoris, you can see it up there, rectus femoris. Okay. Then if I move towards your middle of your body, inward here, you have something called vastus medialis. Vastus medialis. It is medial in the body. Vastus just means it's one of your quad muscles. So vastus is just one of your quad muscles, and you have 3 vastus muscles. If I move towards the other side, this is vastus lateralis because it is lateral in your body. So lateral in your leg, vastus lateralis. This is medial, so medialis, rectus femoris. So that's only 3 muscles, but I said you have 4 because quadriceps mean you have 4. The 4th one is underneath the rectus femoris, okay? And that's how I would state it on the practical. Name the muscle underneath that muscle, and I'll point to it, so you have to read it, okay? So this is still a vastus, but it's underneath that one, and that is intermedius. Intermedius. So the vastus intermedius is underneath rectus femoris. So that is your 4th muscle making up your quads. So you have the rectus femoris, the vastus medialis, the vastus intermedius, and the vastus lateralis are your quad muscles. All right. So now we're gonna. We're gonna do this right up in this area here. So let's keep going. So we've got. Let's go back to that picture. Yeah, that's good. So if you follow those, you might can see. So we're not seeing vastus medialis on there. So now I want to show you. There's the ribbon one that you can see. That's this sartorius. So you have one that's going to go straight down. Like if you had jeans on and where your inseam would be, there's a muscle that longs right down there. That is the gracilis muscle. Gracilis muscle is a muscle that's going to go straight down here. This is probably not appropriate, but I would say that if I were able to do splits, I would be very gracious to be able to get back up. So that muscle there is going to help you do some splits there. It does help you adduct, and so when you do those jumping jacks, it also plays in knee flexion too, because it's going to move down to the knee. So there's going to be a muscle that goes straight down there. That's gracilis. Okay, so gracilis is there. I'll show you on the mannequin here in just a second. Okay, right beside that you've got some adductor muscles, and so the one you're going to have one in the front. There's more than 2, but the 2 that we're concentrating on is the one that is in the anterior view. So the anterior view is going to be the adductor longus. So that's going to be right here, right by sartorius. Right in this area here is adductor longus, and then in the posterior view we're going to look at the abductor magnus in a moment. So just remember the longus is in the front view. So let me go back to the mannequin area and catch myself back up here. So that's saying adductor group because you do have a big group of the muscles here. Do you see that one? That right there is gracilis. Make sure I spell it right. I'm going to end up misspelling it. L-I-S. Yes, there we go. Gracilis muscle. That's that one, and then that's the abductor, and this says group, but it's the one in the front is actually the longest. Okay, so that's a good picture of all of them. This is also a really good picture of all of them. So you can see the longest. There's the gracilis. There's the tensor fasciolate. This is the rectus femoris. This is on the PowerPoint, so you can get it. What's underneath the rectus femoris? That is that vastus intermedius. Remember there? And if we go lateral, there's lateralis. If we go medial. So that's a really good picture that you can see of all of those. And this I took a snapshot from at the end, or actually on the sheet I've put some sort of little simple called polka muscle, and if you like games you can play the little polka muscle and it helps you just kind of learn it. If you like video games in your home and you're bored, you can do this, and I took a picture after it I had gotten them right. So this is color coding them, so I liked it a lot. So you can see the green, you can see your adductors are here, but longing across here is not showing the gracilis there. So that's a good picture of the muscles color coded for you. So here's a picture of the mannequin.